The infamous dodging and burning. So dodging and burning is making, with dodge, the lighter areas, like the nose and above the brow and maybe on the forehead and right around the lip, make those a little bit lighter, even the palm of her hand. And then contrasting that, we make the darker areas with the burn section a little bit darker, like around the nose, the eyebrows. And what we're trying to achieve is definition. We're going to make the facial features pop. So let's start out with the dodge. Come over to our white and black selectors here. We're going to select white because we have a black mask. And we're going to take our flow to about 2%. And we're going to make ourselves a big brush. Make sure you do have the brush selected, of course, the brush tool. You can just hit B on your keyboard to quickly go to it. I'm going to do this area of the forehead first. And we're just going to one fell swoop. Probably didn't even notice that, right? Look at that. It's so minute you don't even notice it. But when we go in with the burn, it will become readily apparent what we've done. Let's see, I added just a little bit more there. I like that on the brow. Usually the brows have this little punch to them, right? Right there on the edge of the nose. And maybe on the, oh, we got to get in there for that. See that? We don't want to make it obvious that we did it, so we have to work around these glasses. And the way we do that is just work within our boundaries. Not too difficult there. Let's get in here on the lip. Okay, she's got a nice white spot there. The first thing I do is get it real small. We trace around the lip with this white spot here. So let's make it small. And let's add a nice little subtle white line right above the lip. There you go. Now, maybe add a little bit more right there. There you go. And around the bottom. And what this is going to do is, see how it got real small right there? And there we go. And we're just going to make these lips pop a little bit. And I'll probably move it all the way up to there. There we go. Ah, what a difference it makes. I love it. So, we've got a little bit more work to do up here. And we'll just do it so light that you can barely tell we did it. Just like that. These palms are pretty good already. Just add a little bit more up in there. Maybe a little bit on the finger line there. So we've got this here. Just like that. And nothing too difficult at all. Maybe on this finger, I kind of like how it's got that little area. You could even brighten up the whites of the fingernails there. Probably make them a little bit wider. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. And there? How about those? Yeah, how about that, huh? You like that? Of course you do. Make this one smaller. And then let's brighten that up just a little bit. Right in there. A little bit more right there. Maybe get in there a little bit. The cuticle area. You can even hit the cuticle. Look at that. Amazing. This is your discretion, so however far you want to take it, you can. I'm typically conservative with the brighter parts, especially down on the shoulders. You know, we've got a nice little white line there, and we can contrast out just a little bit. And this is the artistic side of you here. Whatever you want to stand out, you can make it stand out. So, especially cheek bones, are usually right on the top of the cheek. We got the glasses resting there, but underneath there, we don't. So we will take a little bit of brightness and make it pop. The edge of the nose there, and right there. Not too terribly difficult. Everything's looking great on this photo. I'm really happy with it. And and right in there. All right. I think that does it for the dodge portion. Probably even put a little spot right in there. Yeah, make that cheekbone pop a little bit. Let's bring it back and let's look what we did. So we went from that to that. Doesn't look too drastically different until we get into the burn. Now with the burn, you got to be a little bit careful. Take it, flow down to 1%. It's got to be low. I usually start off on the eyebrows. And I just take them and do a 1 over. It doesn't take a lot. Make the eyebrows pop. So we've lightened it up with the dodge, and then we're going to burn just a smidgen in there. On the edge of the nose, usually, along the brim of the nose, you'll want to take a little bit and see what we can do. And it's so minute that you can barely tell that you've done anything. Sometimes when you get down in here, you don't really see the product of what you're doing until you zoom out and you toggle it off and on. And you can see we're slowly adding definition. She's got great definition already. We're going to make that definition even better. So let's get the edge of this lip here, probably a little bit smaller. And let's just give it a 1 over right under there. And then get a little bit smaller here. And then let's take it to the next level, just like so. How about that? Right there in that little lip area. Too easy. Let's get under this nose. And what we're doing is we're just drawing a little bit of contrast right underneath the nose. And if you've done it and it's too harsh, just remember to use that fade tool and you can fade it right back. I like this cheekbone area. It's always fun to do. I'll show you why. Get in here, make this a little bit bigger. Don't be too shy. If it's too harsh, you can always fade it back. So let's just take this cheekbone and let's make it a little bit more pronounced. And then it looks like we have a little bit too dark there. So we will Shift Command F and let's fade it back and see what we've got. So there's none. There's a little bit more. And right about 50%. Looks good to me. Oh, goodness. And then a lot of women have this little boop right by the lip. I don't know what that's called, but we're going to enhance it just a little bit. So we're going to take that and just right down through there. Shift Command F. Let's use the airplane. Take it down to about 45%. And voila. On the edges of the chin, we do take a little bit of burn and we drop it right under there, just like so, all the way around the chin. And then Shift Command F and we can take a look at what we've done. Yeah, probably right there at about 73% is good. So the burn tool is a little bit more harsh than the dodge tool. So you got to be a little bit more sparing when you use it. So let's get into this shadow here and let's make these little decorations on her bracelet stand out a little bit more. See the difference there? Just kind of gives it that extra little pop that it needs. And you could even get in here and put it in the little shadowy areas. And you're taking that shadow and making it just a little bit darker. Not much. When we look at this, look at that definition. On the fingers, we can do the same thing. We'll probably zoom out just a little bit, and we will take our brush and make it just a little bit bigger, and then we will just come right down. Not difficult. And then Shift Command F, and we'll take it to 50. Done. Next finger. And done. Shift Command F, 50. And then next finger. This one's a little bit more difficult. In here, let's make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm using the left and right brackets on the keyboard to make the brush size bigger and smaller, 50%. Then we'll do the last finger here. You can give it a little bit of definition on the top. And Shift Command F50. I'm fading it because it's a little bit too harsh for my liking. At 1% flow. Shift Command F50. And then maybe I'll just come in here and make that a little bit darker as well. Alright, so let's get up here on the forehead. And we do, remember that shadowy area that we blended? We can add a little bit more contrast above the brow. So we're going to just right there. Done. Too easy. Along the hairline, it's always a good idea to drop a little bit of contrast in there. And we will do that right now. Right here we don't have much room to work with, but as we go up, we'll have more in the hair that we can make more contrasty. And now we can make that bigger. And we can just take it along the hairline and make the hairline a bit more pronounced, especially in those areas where the hair folds over. And then along the edge there, just like so. Not difficult. Not difficult at all. And then down in here, we have her neckline, and we can make that a little bit more poppy. We can paint up into these black areas, make it more mysterious. And along the shirt edge where that shadow is, maybe even give it a little bit more darker. And we can take her neck in this area, make it bigger, and then just drop it right down like that. And let's look at that real quick. A little bit more definition. It's so subtle, you don't barely notice. Okay, right in here in this area, we've got this little shadow part along her shoulder. We can make that a little darker, and that a little darker right there. And then along the edge of her arm, we've got a little bit of darkness in her, where her armpit starts. It looks like we can do that on the edge of the hand too. Excuse me. Let's take this. Let's see if we can't get some good sharp pop there. Oh yes. Perfect. All the way up. All right. Now let's get in here on the ear and make these a little bit more pronounced. And then on where the glasses shadow is, we can do that too. And it doesn't look like we're doing much, but we are. Especially where it pops. And then around the ear. I gotta say, burning's probably was the most annoying. I used to like the highlights, but I found that, really having control over those shadows individually at the parts where you want to highlight them, that for me was much more pleasant than the highlights. So you can really get in there and make the shadows darker and give layers of hair, for example, more of a pop. And it really pronounces it and makes it, stand out more. You could even get in and do these individual hairs like this. We did a slide earlier, so we're just kind of adding a little bit more there. And you can definitely see that starting to take shape there. That contrast is really coming in and making things pop. we go. I think I'm about done with that. You get the point. Yeah. So let's look at what we did with the dodging and burning. There's the burn. And if we take those two off, and I'm going to turn them on again. And just to kind of give you an idea of what we've done so far, if you hold the Option key and click the background, you can see what we've done so far to transform this image. There's before and there's after. Big difference. Now I'm going to get into the hair highlight real quick. This one's a little bit different. So it does require a little bit of effort. You got to take that color there, right? Go up to the color picker right here, and we're going to sample a highlight of her hair. So let's get in here and find a good highlight color. Now it looks like we've got a good highlight color down in here. Right about there. Probably that color right there. No? There you go. Right there. And then what we'll do is we'll boost that up just a smidgen into there. And then we will hit Shift Delete. And then we're going to fill it with a color. And then we're going to choose the color that we picked. And we'll hit OK. And then we'll hit OK. Now it's filled it with that color. We could click on this. We've already got the white highlighted. And we're going to paint on a black mask. And we're going to paint with the brush. And let's zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We make this a little bit smaller. We grab the individuals and we just start. Remember, this is only the hair highlight. This isn't skin. So you're just going to touch the hairs. So in here, you see, you don't want to be too big. You want to be about the size of a strand of the hair. And then, there you go. We're making those hairs stand out. As you can see, it's working. You could even take this flow up to as high as 3% and really, pop the hair highlights. So if we take this and go down and we get in here and do it. Maybe make it a little bit bigger in the bunches of highlights. And you can paint in the highlights. And you can spend as much time on this as you want. I typically spend maybe 5 minutes. It shouldn't be too difficult. If it's for a hair commercial or something, obviously, or a hair photo for a fashion shoot, obviously you want to spend more time on it. But in general, when we're just editing for clients, we spend a few minutes on it. Make their, they took the time to make their hair pop. Let's make their hair really pop. Okay? And there we go. Right out through there, and out and through here. Right in there. Maybe give it a little bit more oomph. Okay. And right down through there. Not too terribly difficult and not too terribly obvious that you're doing it. Trick is to hide your edits, Let's not make them too obvious there. I think we're good with this. So let's take it back and let's take a look at what we've done. So here is the dodge and burn before, and then here's the dodge and burn after. Not too terribly difficult. All right, I'll see you in the next video where we do the teeth. All right.